Improvement Program is a multi-phased initiative which will affect the parishes of St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, Westmoreland and Hanover and aims to improve access to potable water and sewage services.
Finance Minister Favour Williams. That's it for this week's House Matters. Join us again next time for more on what's happening in the Houses of Parliament. I'm Jada Francis. Take care. A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
2 minutes after 9.
You're inside the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton.
Good morning to you. It is Wednesday? No, it's Thursday. It's Thursday. Look here, my brain right now. It's not together here, but it's Thursday. It's Thursday, June 19, 2025. We are alive and well, and for that we give God thanks. Good morning to you. If you're listening on the 90 FM band, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7, and 90.9, thank you so much for joining us on your radio. We appreciate your company there. If you are listening and watching on our YouTube channel, good morning to you. The channel is Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. That's Nationwide 90 FM LIVE with a number 2 beside that. I want to say good morning to Juliet Sanchez, who is first in the YouTube chat this morning. Cheyenne Atkinson, good morning to you as well. David Nebar, Kirkland Salmon, good morning. Donna Johnson, good morning to you. SH, top of the morning to you. Gillian Coleman, Albert Morgan. Did I say Errol Townsend already? Errol, good morning again if I said it already. Jean Sellers, good morning to you. Herman Hyatt, top of the morning to you as well. Who else? Marvelous Marvin, good morning to you. Ines Campbell Murray and all the others over there on YouTube. Big up on yourself every time. If you're listening from our mobile app, which is available for free on the Google Play and the Apple App Store, and those on our website, the Listen Now option there, good morning to you. Thank you for making it Nationwide 90 FM. This morning, people, you wouldn't guess where we are. We are outside again. This time we are in Hanover. We are in Lucy. We are in the bus park. We're in a Lucy in Hanover. And we're here for the Ministry of Justice's Justice Fair. They are set up, usually many of the agencies under the ministry, they come here and all the different services that you can benefit from. They set up here, expungement of records, legal aid counsel, victim services, restorative justice, legal aid clinic. Did I say that already? Yes. And all of those other things, The Ministry of Labour and Social Security will also be here. Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities will also be here. So yeah, man, it's a good place to be on this Thursday morning. So come on down to the bus park in Lucy, Hanover, and benefit from the services that will be set up here this morning. Of course, later on during Cliff Hughes Online, you'll hear much more about that. But in the meantime, inside the Consumer Hour, we have for you MLSS and You.
MLSS and You is brought to you by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.
And this morning inside MLSS and You, we will be talking about World Productivity Day, and that will be celebrated tomorrow, June 20. World Productivity Day. It invites us to reflect on the importance of improving productivity, not just in the workplace, but across all aspects of national life. And to talk to us more about World Productivity Day and Jamaica's productivity, we will be joined by Chief Technical Director at the Jamaica Productivity Center, Mrs. Tamar Nelson. Good morning to you. Mrs. Nelson, are you there? Good morning. Okay, yes. Good morning to you. How are you this morning?
I am doing well, and I hear you are doing fine in the country, with the country air.
Boy, Mrs. Nelson, I don't know if I'm doing fine now, but I am here. I'm kind of tired, but I am here. But we are here this morning to talk about productivity, Jamaica's productivity, and World Productivity Day in general. Let's start by talking about productivity here in Jamaica. We've been having this conversation for some time now. The Prime Minister, it used to be a constant in his speeches, improving productivity in Jamaica and the importance of that. Now, what are we doing in Jamaica, and how are we employing resources to help build a culture of productivity in Jamaica, in schools, workplaces, and even government agencies?
Right, so that's a very good question. And, we at the Jamaica Productivity Center and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, we are here to really help to facilitate this growth, this productivity growth here in Jamaica. We want to see Jamaica more productive, more resilient, more competitive, right? So we are happy to see all the buzz around productivity. It's exactly what we want. We want everyone on board to understand the concept of productivity, to be all on the same page, as it were, driving in the same direction. Because we don't, if you have a boat and everybody is paddling in a different way or a different direction, we'll go around in circles. So when we have everybody speaking about it, talking about productivity and onboard, we're happy to hear that. That means that as a nation, we are now more focused on productivity and growth. And in terms of what we are doing here, we are not only bringing awareness to the concept of productivity, but actually helping persons, training them, working with organizations, whether public or private, giving them the information that they need to make informed decisions, strategic decisions that can help them to increase their productivity. And, Nora, when you really think about this whole concept of productivity, everything we do or not do can contribute either positively or negatively to it. So if you think of, you spoke about, possibly driving down, you're a bit tired. That will affect your productivity. Temperatures will affect your productivity. Social impact. There are many different factors as an individual, as a firm, or even as a nation. But what we are doing at the Jamaica Productivity Center is helping to really streamline and focus on what are some of the things that can give us the biggest bang for our buck. Because the thing is that what we have are opportunities for growth. And what we are doing at the Jamaica Productivity Center is highlighting those opportunities for growth. And so World Productivity Day, June 20th, is something that we hold very dear to our hearts. And annually, we bring awareness through this World Productivity Day activity. So we have been doing this for a number of years. And this year's theme, we are really looking at on the whole matter of culture, resilience, building that culture-driven productivity, shaping mindsets for resilience, innovation, and partnership. So this year's theme is really focused on things that we know can really bring about that change. Looking at innovation, for example. As a nation, we are very creative people. And if we can channel that and look at new ways of doing things a little bit differently, that can help us to make the best use of our resources. And in doing that, we will be more effective and be more efficient and making real use of those opportunities that exist all around us.
Awesome. We've been talking, you've been mentioning the Jamaica Productivity Center, and we've had conversations before on this program about the Jamaica Productivity Center and what you do. But for organizations, entities, businesses who have a difficulty interpreting what productivity or how productivity should be measured in their space, in their organization, how does the Productivity Center, Jamaica Productivity Center, help to guide them in that direction as to how they measure their productivity?
Okay, that's a very good question, Nora. And there is a old adage, and I know many of your listeners would have heard this before. You can't improve what you can't measure, right?
Right.
Or you can manage only what you measure. So growth has a direct correlation to measurement. And at the Jamaica Productivity Center, we view this very seriously. So we have an entire department that is dedicated towards research and measurement. And they look at, benchmarks at the national and firm level. Also look at how we are doing as a nation and help, even down to the firm level, we help organizations to see where they are, where compared to others, compared to the rest of the world, and what are the opportunities that exist. We go even beyond that. We have a technical assistance services team that will help organizations to measure what matters, because we can have a lot of measurements, and we spend a lot of time doing a lot of measurements and have, persons dedicated, to just creating reports, and that's all they do. But is it really making an impact on the bottom line? Is it really what we should be measuring? So we can come in and do analysis and really look at measuring what matters. We have also helped organizations to develop measurement systems, right, who don't have any at all. And we do see that a lot, where there isn't a lot of focus on a culture of measurement. It's still something that needs to be developed a little bit more, even especially at the MSME level, right? So where we see that gap, we help the organization to develop simple systems of capturing data that can help them to make more strategic and deliberate decisions within their organizations. We also conduct workshops. So we have a Learn and Share series, a virtual series that we ran last year. We developed and ran it last year, and we'll be doing it throughout this year. So, persons can follow our pages and find out when those Learn and Share series are coming up. They are virtual at no cost to persons, and they can just log in for an hour and a half and get some real value as to what they can do within their organizations to improve their productivity, including measurement. We also do tailored workshops for persons to really dive in to their unique situations and help them as well as it relates to measurement. So we really have a full package for persons out there to help them to grow and to improve.
Awesome. We are up on a commercial break, so we're going to take this break. When we come back, we'll continue to talk about the Jamaica Productivity Center and the work that you're doing to increase productivity across Jamaica.
Decorate and redecorate your space with water-resistant, colorful, and fast-drying paints from Edgechem Paints. The time by Edgechem Paints, changing lives 1 gallon at a time, is
9:15.
The Ministry of Justice is hosting the Hanover leg of the Legal Aid Council's Justice Fair for Persons with Disabilities on Thursday, June 19, 2025, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Lucy Bus Park. Persons with disabilities can come out to access justice services such as legal aid, child diversion, victim support, expungement of criminal records, restorative justice, wills and estate management, and many more. The RGD will be there along with many other government services. That's the Legal Legal Aid Council's Justice Fair for Persons with Disabilities, Thursday, June 19, 2025, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Lucy Bus Park. The Ministry of Justice, taking justice to the people of Jamaica.
Good morning to you. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Nora Gay Banton. We are outside this morning. We're in Hanover. We are in Lucy, to be exact, the town. We're in the bus park, and we're here for the Legal Aid Council's Justice Fair for Persons with Disabilities. And they are setting up and getting ready. And while we are here, we're inside the Consumer Hour, and it's MLSS and you this morning. We're talking about Jamaica's productivity, because tomorrow is World Productivity Day. And Mrs. Tamara Nelson, the Chief Technical Director at the Jamaica Productivity Center, is talking to us. Mrs. Nelson, the JPC has a toolkit. Talk to me about this productivity toolkit and how it is used.
All right, so we do have a productivity toolkit we're very excited about, right? Because one of the things we want to do, and one of the things that we are aiming for, is impact, right? We want everybody to have the tools, to have the knowledge, so we can have more productivity champions out there in Jamaica. So one of the things that the board, the team, and the ministry has come up with is a productivity toolkit for Jamaica. And so we are going to be launching that in a few, in a very short while, where persons can access this toolkit. Now, this toolkit would be, right now, it's a self-assessment. And we have one for government services, we have one for businesses, and we even have one for students, right? So they can improve, for example, the student toolkit is a scorecard where they can, assess themselves and see, okay, where are my gaps right now? And, what we are doing is trying to look and cultivate in students that mindset to really plan, prepare, and perform productivity in their school life, right? So that's the students' toolkit, which has that scorecard. For government services, right, what it will do is this toolkit will enable a government department or a public service agency, for example, to really assess if your service is being done in an efficient way and how they can optimize their own internal operations. So this scorecard, it will help persons to benchmark, across different areas, and then we link them, if there are any gaps, to us in terms of how we can support them for further enhancement. Right? So, if there is a gap, if they have scored, beautifully, then we can actually onboard them as an ambassador, right? But if there is a gap, we can then help them to close those gaps, because our aim is for everyone to improve. And for businesses, no, we have this toolkit, and what it will do is help, again, them to look at their operational areas and identify their performance levels. And if there are any gaps, it will link to a service that we provide here at the Jamaica Productivity Center, specifically our Technical Assistance Services Unit. And that unit is comprised of professionals who have been in the field for, decades and have worked in multiple industry sectors and have that knowledge, tools, the skill set that can identify and help them to facilitate closing those gaps, right? So we are very excited about it, and the minister will be launching that. And so we want persons to really stay close to our social media pages so you can avail yourselves of these services once they are launched to the public.
Awesome. I hear you're referring to the minister launching it soon, but I hope you can indulge me a little bit more about how it will work. Is this an online platform that will be made available for free to businesses, government agencies, and schools? And I'm particularly interested in the student toolkit and how it will be made available for schools to use.
Right, so we are making everything available online so persons can log in, and of course those details will be provided in short order. So persons will be able to log in. It's free. It's a free service that everyone will have access to once you have access to the internet. We're going to make it downloadable as well, so for those who prefer to work through there, that will also be available as well. So, students, businesses, government services can log in, and then it will also give you the option to connect with us for that specific need that you have. Right? So, we at the Productive Center, as it relates to the schools, we do go out into the schools and do sessions with the students throughout the year. So, we will include this in our student sessions that we have as well.
The toolkits, final question on the toolkits. When they are done online, is there any way that they are automatically, the results are automatically seen by the Productivity Center, or is that something that you would have to then give back to the center for them to assess and see where you are?
I think we will be able to see as well, but
Okay.
the organization or the individual will definitely have to reach out to us to say, yes, I'm interested in going further. I'm interested in supporting them on their journey.
Okay. Talk to us a little bit more, and I see this toolkit is one aspect. Talk to us about how innovation is driving productivity in today's economy, and how the JPC is using technology and new media to ensure that we are getting productivity in Jamaica where it needs to be.
That's a very good question, Nora. And the way of the world today is technology driven.
Yeah.
And we went to a session just on Monday where we were looking at how, and I think this was put on by the private sector organization of Jamaica, in terms of how AI can be used in your businesses, in your organizations, to improve efficiencies. And one of the things that the literature is also showing is that the technology is moving so fast that in 3 months it could be outdated. So there is a need to be on the edge of technology, to be on the frontier, to be on top of what can help organizations to improve and to do so in an efficient and effective way. And one of the things we are seeing at the Jamaica Productivity Center is that when we go out into the organization and do the assessment, the feedback we're getting is they want technology, they want AI, they want to know what are the new trends out there that can help them to be more efficient and more effective. And so it means that our team has to be, knowledgeable of what is happening to be able to provide that support. And that's one of the foundations of or the core of what we do here at the center is continuous improvement. So, up to yesterday, we were meeting with Google Caribbean, looking at what technology they are putting out that we could then provide to persons that we meet out there in the field, that their solutions could match with what they are doing. So there are no chat, outside of chatbots, there are agents, there are all different kind of things that you can create your own AI, your own GPTs, and so we are learning these things so that we can provide these to our clients and that we serve. So outside of that, everything that we do is based on being more efficient and effective.
Yes.
So outside of technology, there is also, for example, how things are laid out, and we do assist with that as well. How we can reduce, the time, improve the quality, etc. So when our technical team goes out, they are looking at the whole system. So they're looking at technology. So we have an IT specialist that works with the technical team, and he would look at those aspects and see, okay, what technology can be applied, what new tools can be applied. We have industrial and systems engineer. They're looking at the entire system, the structured organization, the flow of the operations, everything, to create that big picture so that whatever you get, it's solid, and it will put you on that pathway to productivity.
Awesome. Love to hear it, because especially where our government agencies and departments are concerned, there are many systems in place that sometimes don't make sense. I saw someone on social media lamenting the fact that some of the systems are outdated, and really those who are working in the system, they are really just doing it because it's what they were taught in probably orientation when they just started working there. For example, the person was talking about producing an ID. And when they went, I don't know what what it is that they wanted to do, but the person asked for an ID and TRN. So the person issued their driver's license, which is an ID and also holds your TRN. And whoever was receiving that from her, they insisted that they can't take it because they need a TRN as well. And she ended up not giving it because the person insisted that this is what the system is and this is how it must be. And sometimes, simple things like that, they delay processes and they cause things to slow down. And how is the center, we're up on the break, but when we come back, how is the productivity center looking at some of these low-hanging fruits with some of the processes and some of the forms that we have to complete when we are doing business, especially with the government, and how we can transform these? After the break, Mrs. Nelson.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers provides quality insurance coverage and risk management services. The time by Spectrum Insurance Brokers Limited, setting the industry standards, is
9:30.
Are your devices accurate? Are they calibrated? Even small errors can lead to big problems. That's why Jamaicans trust the Bureau of Standards Jamaica. From food to fuel, health to hardware, our metrology and testing division provides world-class calibration and measurement services to keep your devices precise and your business meeting global standards. Whether you're weighing goods, monitoring temperature, or relying on the accuracy of devices, we get it right every time. Our advanced equipment and experts help you you move with confidence. Call 876-618-1534 or visit bsj.org.jm. The Bureau of Standards Jamaica. From lab to market, the power of precision, powering accuracy, ensuring safety.
Outperform, outlast. With top performance. Jackama. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electricians. Fan select tools, free parts and free repairs. Free parts, free repairs. In 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-61114. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
At Kia, driving your future means joining the movement that inspires. Whether it's the small but mighty Picanto hatchback or the top-of-the-line tech-rich Sorrento SUV, there's a Kia that perfectly fits your lifestyle and your budget. ATL Automotive has gotten Jamaicans behind the wheels of thousands of Kias for the past 7 years. And we're ready to get you behind the wheel of a Kia too. Simply visit the nearest Kia showroom for a test drive now.
Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Norige Banton, and we are inside MLSS and you this morning talking about Jamaica's productivity. Tomorrow is World Productivity Day, and we are speaking with Chief Technical Director at the Jamaica Productivity Center, Mrs. Tamar Nelson, and we've been talking about productivity here in Jamaica. And before the break, we were talking about, innovation and technology and how that can help to transform Jamaica's productivity, and how the productivity center itself must be abreast with what is going on with innovation and technology. And I was asking Mrs. Nelson about some of our systems, especially at government agencies and departments, where, you have to sign up for something or you have to complete something for an application for whatever. And some of the systems that are in place now and how archaic they may be. And I'm asking Mrs. Nelson, how is the Jamaica Productivity Center looking at those processes to ensure that they are at the standard of where we want to be, where productivity is concerned?
All right, so another good question. And the whole matter of a system, right, at some point, that system worked perfectly, right?
Yes.
At some point in time, it did what it was supposed to do. And what we are in now is that part of humanity, our human existence, where things are moving so rapidly. The environment is changing, the technology is changing on a rapid basis. So you might have a version 3.0, and in a few months there's a 4.0 that you have to upload and update and to relearn. And so what this means is that as a people, as a nation, everyone in the world, we have to really be agile. So it means that we have to be adaptable, we have to be flexible, right? To respond to these changes in a prompt way, so that we continue to realize those gains. And we have seen changes made where services have been put online. You don't have to come in for certain services now, and we have seen this across the public service, one agency, one department at a time. And that is excellent. And what we are doing at JPC and the ministry as well is looking at, how can we improve? How can we improve our own services, our deliverables? And the Ministry of Labour is looking at a few of their systems so that they can continue to provide excellent service in terms of labor and social security services to Jamaicans. At the Productivity Center, we value, these systems so much that we were able to be recertified in ISO 9001:2015 just 2 weeks ago. So we have quality standards and that we adhere to, having standard operating procedures. And one of the things that, being ISO certified, it does is that we have to continuously look at our processes to see if it's still working, right?
Yes.
And, so one of the, we have to keep continuously improving, looking and seeing, okay, is this still serving me? How can I be better at this? Has anything changed in the environment that I need to adapt to, that I need to improve on, right? So one of the things that we are doing at the Productivity Center to help with this is that one of the things, and you have to hear, keep close to us so you can hear more when the minister speaks about it, is the launch of program, specifically a beautiful program just for public sector entities, where we will be working with them and helping them on this journey for productivity growth and improvement. So that is also a part of what is coming up. And our team is so passionate about, this whole matter of standardizing operations and continuously looking at it. That's one of the research that we'll be conducting this year to really make that link between, looking at your operations and productivity and that link. So we will be engaging persons and creating that study and having that study available at the end of this financial year, so persons can look out for that as well. So this year, we're taking World Productivity Day a little differently. We'll be rolling out a number of activities and initiatives throughout the year. We kick off with World Productivity Day, most of which will be online. Our ministry, our team, our board, will all be, sharing our views and thoughts with the public. We have some giveaways as well online, so please share your own productivity journey with us. And, we will be rolling out activities in line with what the minister would have shared in his sectoral speech. One of the things, if you heard his speech, he spoke about was creating a productivity ecosystem. Because, when you really think of it, there are different moving parts that will come together to make this work. And, so we are rolling out aspects to bring that all together so we can make those linkages. So we're having the data that will be available, the training and awareness. We're going to have some sector-specific support. So coming up too is a tourism sector-specific intervention that we will be doing as well, and just linking productivity to these policies and direction that can help to make everything grow. When our systems work together, government, schools, firms, people, Jamaica wins, and that's what we want. We want everyone to win.
Awesome. Mrs. Nelson, every time you are on, I like to talk about where we are in Jamaica with productivity. And the Prime Minister, as I said at the beginning of the program, has talked about improving Jamaica's productivity for quite some time now. And you are in charge of the place that measures productivity. So where are we in Jamaica now when it comes to our productivity? How have we improved, or have we improved over the past, let's say, 5 years?
Well, our productivity has remained at about 0.9, close to 1% growth over the last 5 years or so. There was a slight change in terms of the statistics in the last year and a half. So it has, zeroed the trend analysis. So we're going to start over in terms of our measurement in 2024. So we wouldn't have enough to compare 2024 to 2025 as yet. So as soon as this year is finished, we'll have some comparative data that we can share with you. But one thing that we do know is that the opportunities exist for improvement. And the thing with productivity that once you keep improving, it will compound over time. And that's why at the JPC, our role is to help to facilitate and show, how persons can close those gaps. So we can have double-digit growth, right? We don't want to see the 1%, but, we have what it takes. And, one person said that, productivity is not a spectator sport where you sit on the sideline. It's not that you have to really get into and get your hands.
Yes, you have to be very active in it.
You have to be very active. You have to participate, right? So, and one of the things we are doing is really partnering with others to see how we can come together and leverage those resources to really make that impact, both nationally and internationally. So we have some interesting partnerships coming up as well. One, we continue to work with the ILO at the Ministry of Labor and Social Security on initiatives to improve productivity. We recently went through a whole certification to start and help persons to improve their businesses, and the team has already trained a cohort. So if persons are interested in learning more about that ILO Improve Your Business program, they can contact us as well. The UN team at UNCTAD has also looked at Jamaica, and we have been selected for us to really look at the whole measurement aspect on a national level to measure our productive capacities. So to improve on that measurement system and our productive capacities here in Jamaica. So that's a 3-year project that it kicked off already in April. And so we're working along with that team to really ensure that in Jamaica we have the data, accurate data recorded that we can then share with persons at the policy level, at the firm, the national level. We can make those strategic and deliberate actions based on facts, right? So we also have partnered with the JMEA, where we are offering audits to the manufacturers, snapshot audits. These are free assessments that can be done. Our team comes in for a 4-hour period that give you those that feedback on the gaps, and you can take the results of that and run with it in terms of improving your productivity. We are also speaking with the JCC at the moment to look at the services sector and to also have something similar with their members as well. We can't leave out the educators. So UE, HART, UTEC are also, we hold very close to us. And apart from working with the teams there to develop programs and to look at research that will help to inform decisions to improve productivity, we also work with their students. We have internship programs with us here at the JPC so that they can learn more about productivity, dive a little deeper into it, and to contribute for a period of time to the whole productivity agenda. So we have a holistic program here at the JPC. Right now we have 6 persons from different institutions working with us for the summer. So we have that program running now for probably 15 years, where we help students. They come in, they get the experience, and they go out, and they are also champions of productivity when they leave here as well. So the whole impact of that is, not just training and, looking at labor for the future, but it also supports competitiveness, and we can leverage the resources that we have here at the center and multiply it throughout different organizations.
Great. We're up on another break. When we come back, I just want to find out from you, Mrs. Nelson, where are we going? What are we working towards as it relates to the level of productivity we want to achieve? What standards are we looking to? Who do we measure? How do we measure, what standard we're working to after the break?
prescriptions. Get cosmetics and other pharmaceutical items at Manning's Hill Pharmacy, located at 34A Manning's Hill Road, Kingston. Telephone 924-6280. At Manning's Hill Pharmacy, they stock all the hard-to-get medication. The time by Manning's Hill Pharmacy is
9:46.
You want to win? Then just bet. Bet on the game, no stress, no sweat. And win big in the Wanna Bet Just Bet promotion. Spend $1,500 or more on one Just Bet ticket and complete the entry form at promotions.supremegames.com for your chance to win. Third place gets Beats by Dre. Second place gets an iPhone 15 and AirPods Pro. And first place gets a 65-inch TV and a soundbar. Promotion runs May 16 to July 20, 2025. Grand draw July 25, 2025. Authorized under Section 58. Of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
The gateway for Jamaica's athletes to several international competitions, including the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan, opens from Thursday, June 26 to Sunday, June 29 for the J3A Junior and Senior National Championships at the National Stadium, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. each day. The biggest names in local track and field, with the men's section including the likes of Olympic silver medalist Shane Thompson, Oblique Seville, Akeem Blake, Antonio Watson, Christopher Taylor, Olympic champion Roger Stoner, Rajendra Campbell, Wayne Pinna, and Romain Beckford. The female division will be no less fascinating, with two-time reigning world champion Sharika Jackson, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, the Clayton Twins, Tia and Tina, Alana Reed, Akira Nugent, Rochelle Clayton, and Shanika Ricketts. The action will be sizzling.
The following hurricane tip is brought to you by Coast to Coast Concrete. Create a hurricane evacuation plan with members of your household. Planning and practicing your evacuation plan minimizes confusion and fear during the event. The preceding hurricane tip was brought to you by Coast to Coast Concrete. Telephone 876-754-7472.
Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Nora Gay Banton, and we are outside in Hanover this morning. We're here for the Ministry of Justice's Justice Fair for persons with disabilities, and others too can come and benefit from the services that will be here. But people with the ride pan the sea, we can take about 10 steps and reach, I see. And people, I am burning up. I am hot. And I don't know what is really happening in Jamaica. Climate change is real. Because one time when you're there seaside, you're supposed to guarantee coolness. Why am I sweating? But that's not what we're talking about this morning. We're inside MLSS&U, and we're talking about productivity. Tomorrow is World Productivity Day, and we are on the phone lines. We've been on the phone lines with Mrs. Tamar Nelson. She's Chief Technical Director at the Jamaica Productivity Center. We've been talking about Jamaica's productivity, how the JPC is looking to improve on Jamaica's productivity, working with different ministries and agencies and institutions, schools and businesses to ensure that it's a national approach to improving Jamaica's productivity. Mrs. Nelson, before the break, we were talking about where Jamaica's productivity is, and you were saying that right now we are unable to give comparative data because of a new way in which we are measuring. But you did say, but over the past 5 years or so, that we were at about 0.9 to very close to 1% growth over those 5 years. But what is the standard? What are we working towards? What is the standard that when we achieve it, we can say that Jamaica is at a good place where productivity is concerned?
All right. So one of the things I want to address first and foremost to the listeners, Nora, is some of the, before I get to that point, is some of what we think productivity is, right?
Yes.
And you know, so a lot of us feel that productivity is just out. Right? So if we're doing a lot of things, you know, we're making a lot of money, we are productivity is increasing, right? But productivity is not just the output but the output relative to what you're putting in,
Right.
right? So are we getting, what are we getting from out of what we're putting in? So I remember having a discussion with someone recently, and they're like, oh, this company is making a lot of profit. They don't have no problem with productivity. But what is that company putting in to get that amount of profit out? And that's what productivity does. It creates that relative comparison between what is going out versus what is putting in. Right? And so you want that number to be a greater number, right? More than one, of course, because if you're putting out what you're putting in, it's just one. So you try to improve your output and to keep your input constant or reduce your inputs, but you try to look at both, right? So it's not just output, it's output relative to what you're putting in. It's also not just for the profitability, right? It's about adding value, right? So it's not just a higher price, but are we giving higher value to our customers or our clients, right? So that's also another way to look at it. Some persons think of, when I hear productivity, they think about downsizing, right? Laying off persons. But it's more about how are we using our teams efficiently? Are we using the skills effectively? Are we improving productivity? Are we turning over, a lot and having a lot of recruiting going on? So there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes as it relates to productivity. And so what we want to see is growth. So we don't want to be the same. We don't want to be going down. We want to grow, right? Worldwide, there is a stagnation in productivity, right? And then some would have lower productivity more than others. So what we want to see, would love to see Jamaica go to double-digit growth, right, per year. And I think that is something that is quite achievable. What that would mean is for us to really close the gaps that exist currently. What are looking at the constraints that would affect our growth and to work at achieving those. We have studies that would have looked deeper into what are some of these constraints and how we can go about doing that. But as a center, we have done that work and to look at how we can close those productivity gaps. And, each area would have gaps. So one of the things that the minister is very passionate about is us looking at the tourism sector, for example. That sector is one of the major income earners for our nation and one that employs a lot of, the labor force. But they have challenges that would affect their productivity. And what we want to do is to see how best we can remove some of those challenges and turn them into opportunities, and to see if we can increase productivity in that sector, more than what it is doing now, because that would mean more income to Jamaica, right? So we'll be meeting with those stakeholders, later in the next month, to really look at a roadmap for the sector in terms of productivity. So that is something, again, you will hear a lot more about. And we are very excited about that initiative as well, and to work with the sector on closing some of those gaps. But,
amazing.
One of the things that we can look at, and you mentioned it earlier, is just looking at the whole matter of innovation and closing the gaps that it relates to that. Because, the more we increase the use of technology and improve innovation, it will help to streamline processes. We'll be able to access data more quickly and make better decisions. And, so if we ensure that, there is no digital divide and there is no infrastructural issue, for example, we can close that gap and grow as a result of that. So there are a few things, not all that can be said in the next 3 minutes, but we are at the center working on looking at those gaps and how we can close them, and working closely with the industries or the organization, the relevant organization, sharing that data to see how we can further facilitate growth here in Jamaica.
Awesome. We are up on the time, so I want to thank you so much, Mrs. Nelson, for joining us this morning to talk to us about productivity here in Jamaica and World Productivity Day, which is celebrated tomorrow. All the best to you and the team as you help Jamaica to move towards double digits in productivity.
Thank you, and of course we can't do it without you and the audience. So we look forward to your partnership and support as well as we go on this journey together. Right? Awesome. We have a productivity opportunity, and we want to seize it as a nation together.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was Mrs. Tamar Nelson, Chief Technical Director at the Jamaica Productivity Center. Tomorrow is World Productivity Day, and as the Minister of Labor and Social Security, Mrs. Nelson said, will in the near future be telling us about some new resources that will be made available for businesses and schools and government agencies, especially the toolkit that will be rolled out. Make best use of it and ensure that you are moving towards greater productivity as we try to move on a national level to improve our productivity in Jamaica. That's where we're going to leave it for the Consumer Hour here on Nationwide 90 FM. It's time for Cliff Hughes Online. We're coming to you live from the bus park in Hanover, in Lucy, Hanover, and we are here for the Legal Aid Council in collaboration with the Ministry of Justice, their Justice Fair, rather, and it's especially catered towards persons with disabilities. Lots of services here for you to benefit from. So come on down to the Lucy Bus Park.
That was the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton. MLSS and You was brought to you by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.